Alright, so it's getting late. Got a little further. I don't know. I probably got about 4 or 5 hours into this at this point. I'm gonna call it. Getting a little tired. Um, so as you can see, I got it on jack stands. I don't know, maybe a 16 inches off the ground so far. Front and back. Wheels off. Pulled all the plastic cover out of here. The belly pan, all of that. Got the serpentine belt off. So I got good access down here now. Again, we get decent height off the ground. I may need to get it higher. I'm not sure yet. But for now, I've been digging around in here. More lines disconnected. Heater core lines. Bunch of stuff back there. I forget now. I've lost track. There's a lot. One of the big things, I got looking at this and I realized when I hang this engine, it's gonna want to move a little bit, and there was no way I was not gonna break the fans and the fan shroud here. So I thought, oh, let me get it out of there. It seems like it'll slide out the top. Well, it does, but it wasn't easy. I had to undo a lot of harness clips and such to get that out. Some of them broke. They'll never go back to the same way again, but whatever. As long as I zip tie them back so they don't rub, I'll be okay. So I did get it out, but I'm a little ticked off. I did mess up these fins a little bit getting it out. There it is right there. But no harm, I guess. Nothing's broken. And I really think I'm going to be glad I got that out of there when I start shifting things around. Not sure if it needed to come out or not, but there was not a lot of clearance between the fan shroud and this manifold. So yeah, I guess I'll hit it up tomorrow. You can see I got the belly pan out, drain the coolant, and I think what I'll be doing tomorrow is getting this exhaust out. So from here back to that flange back there, got to get this piece out. The good thing is I just replaced this subframe. Oh, the dealer did, under a safety recall. So they just had all this out, and it should come out pretty nicely. I would say that if you'd never had that done before and you went for this job though, you might be crying, because it gets pretty rusty and everything gets pretty seized up. But fortunately for me, it was just out, 10,000 miles ago, so I should be good. So yeah, also the transmission cooler lines were kind of bolted up to that shroud, so that had to come off. There's a lot. If I made a step-by-step, yeah, I was saying if I made a step-by-step, I'd be here all night. It's just, there's a lot to undo when you're moving an engine. But the other thing is I got all the plugs out of the ECU and the fuse box. Made sure to cover the ends of these up so that we don't get crud in there, because that'll probably cause electrical gremlins that you'd never be able to figure out. So trying to be careful with that. But I believe, once I undo the shift cable and a few more things on this side, it should be pretty freed up. Probably forgetting something, but then I can focus on the subframe and the CV axles and dropping all that out of the way. Because I can tell you right now, it's got to move. I've made the decision that there's just no way this cover is coming off without moving it, obviously. So yeah, like I said, this is gonna be we're gonna be here a while. I'll try to keep track of how many hours this takes, but I'm starting to wonder what I got myself into. All right, so it's Christmas Eve. I've took a little break. I was starting to get a little aggravated, so took a day or two off. I'm back at it now. So, see where I'm at. So, CV axles are out now, both sides. Good. Tie rod ends are disconnected. Lower control arms disconnected. So, you know, this whole arm assembly can now drop with the subframe. I don't need to take out the bushings and all that crap on the subframe. That should just drop along with the steering rack. I did have to wreck my sway bar end links to get them off. Just couldn't get these nuts to spin off without the shaft spinning, and you know, the Allen wrench holes in the end, just they tend to round out, and you just can't hold these from spinning while you're trying to take that nut off when they're so rusty. So I ended up getting a little frustrated and cutting them off, but those are cheap. Get some new ones of those. Same thing on this side. CV axle's out. And this is just kind of dangling. And so that should drop now. Some various other, you know, power steering lines and stuff that'll drop with it, with the steering rack. But you do have to disconnect them over there. Just use common sense and make sure everything's disconnected and freed up, so this will drop. The challenge I ran into was the shift cable. So this guy sits in this groove here, and it's got this stupid clip, and I just could not. I'm sure I was being an idiot, and there's a way to compress it and get it to pop out, but I couldn't do it, and I got frustrated. So hopefully I can find a new one of these, because this guy sits in that groove and this clip holds it in. But those are my only two casualties so far, is that clip and those sway bar end links. I would just recommend that when you're doing this job, if you get frustrated, walk away, because it can really build up on you. There's just so much to do. Yeah, and then this quick little clip to get it off of the shift arm here. So that should be all ready to drop. Really the one big thing I ran into that I wasn't expecting was to drop the steering rack. Obviously you need to disconnect the power steering, and I don't know if you can see it there. Yep, there it is, right there. I have it disconnected now. There's the pressure line, but you couldn't get at that from anywhere unless you took off the whole, I don't know what they call this, but it's like a metal tray assembly that, you know, bolts up to here and goes across, and then the wiper arm assembly and all the trim. Real pain in the ass. Didn't take too long to get out, but it wasn't something I was expecting to have to do. So, you know, this is metal. That's a whole tray. All these trim pieces and the wiper arms, and obviously the wipers. So, as you can see, I'm starting to get a real wall of parts here that I hope I remember where they all go. There's the axles. Yeah, we're really getting into it. So now the power steering is disconnected and the CV axles are out, I think I'm probably wrong, but I think now I can start finding the bolts that hold this whole frame in and taking them out. I'm gonna block it up because I'm not sure how heavy it is, but my guess is it wouldn't feel good if it fell on you, but you probably will be able to lower it pretty easily. So one thing is the motor does mount to the frame right there, on that dog mount. So I will need to take that out and probably put a block under the motor here to hold it for now on the back side, because there will be some weight on that. Not a lot, but I will need to block that up while I take this frame down. So yeah, I think tomorrow I'll probably try to drop the frame and hopefully everything comes down easy. I will say one thing, taking this whole assembly out here does give you quite a bit more room to mess around back here. Also keep an eye on things, make sure, because I know when I go to hang this motor, I'm going to be real worried about this guy. I do not want to destroy that AC line. So, you know, I'm probably going to try to find somebody to help me to really keep an eye on things. The other thing is, this is one of the hooks, and you know, the tray came right up to here, so it'll be nice to have a lot of clearance now to get the chain hooked in there correctly. I don't know how this is going to hang between, you know, hooking it here and there, how balanced this is going to be. I went around looking for load levelers. I ended up finding this thing, but boy, those don't look strong enough. It says it's rated for 750 pounds, but these are so tiny. So we'll see what I end up rigging up with the hoist. But I think that's where I'm at for now. I don't think I did anything else big. Nope. Still holding off on the valve covers for now until everything's cleaned up. But I will need to take them off before I put the chains on, I think, because don't know where I'm going to be hanging, how I'm going to be hanging this thing, and the chains might be in the way. So I need to get these off. But I'll make sure to clean up all this crud first and really get everything shiny before I do that. So yeah, I'll do some more footage tomorrow after I get the frame down.